hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defoe, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Tom Brady.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a slightly belated edition of the Mike Mayo Lunchbox. We're on Miami time, even though we're in Broward in the 954. We're at one of my favorite places with one of my favorite people. It's time for a Shenanigans remote. Shenanigan Sports Pub, now the one and only location, but still all the great same people that you, and the menu and the drinks and the hospitality that you've come to love and expect from our man Pat Utter here.
Oh, thank you.
And Mike Lubie Lubis, he's having a week. He got caught up in, I guess there was a train derailment or somebody else got. We're not going to start any rumors. All we know is that there was a big, ugly traffic jam. But what else is new in South Florida? Pat Utter, how are you today?
Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming.
It's
Got a lot of exciting stuff going on now, huh? World of sports, horse racing, all sorts of things.
Yeah, we've got
Food.
We're
All the
food.
subjects
Always
I
have
love.
food. Yeah.
Everything.
It's it's a cornucopia and a smorgasbord of sports and food delights. Jeff DeForest is back in his man cave. I guess he's taking protective measures because he's also he's a busy
look at
man. He
this.
might have other appointments, or he might just be scared of being next to me in public. With all the threats.
Well, what do you got there, Mike Mayo? You're already chowing down, which is what I love
Yes.
about this
Oh,
place.
yeah,
We
that's
already
it.
started eating the chili.
Oh, you have a
Fish
chili there?
tacos.
Wow, that's got to be dynamite.
Oh, and I got the nice waft of the fish tacos. We've got some, and it's on the soft tortillas. I'm sorry to say for you, Defoe. Defoe
We
is
can
a
do them hard if you
hard
need them.
taco guy, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we've
See, no, a
got-
fish taco I might like on a soft taco, but a regular taco I like hard tacos.
I don't.
That's just the way it
I
rolls.
tend to agree with you, and I like
Yeah.
it from a owner's point of view. You can't get much on a hard taco.
Yeah.
So look
Makes
at
it easier, yeah.
got an 8-ounce portion on these big soft
Yeah,
tacos.
The nice part of Lubie getting stuck in limbo is that it gave me a chance to both order a beer, and they have the beautiful La Rubia from a brewery down in Wynwood. That's a beautiful, smooth beer. And it gave me time to kind of look at the menu and chat up the lovely Shannon, one of the servers here. And we went for some different things here. We got the chili, and it's not Skyline chili. It's the real chili,
Real
the way
deal,
that you
yep.
expect it to be.
Don't even mention Skyline in front of Patrick Utter. He's a fine restaurateur and a
Never been
classy
there.
guy.
I know. I've been there. That Cincinnati style chili.
Yeah.
I admire all
The people who eat it.
Nice. They're not a sponsor.
No,
You
I
gotta
got
say
to
with
be
a straight
candid with
face.
you. It's something I never could really put my
Yeah.
finger on. The cinnamon.
You don't want to put
No,
your
I
finger
like-
on
I
it.
like
You don't want to
cumin.
touch it. You don't want to even taste it.
No. I think if you're just completely wrecked in no
That's true.
respect,
See,
you could
this
give me.
is-
Yeah, come on. You could.
This has been my contention, is that it's one of my guilty pleasures.
Yes.
They've totally mislabeled it. It should not be called chili.
No.
It is spaghetti with Greek meat sauce. If
Yeah, I
they
like
just-
that idea.
If they labeled
Yes.
it like that and then
Yes.
just put a whole boatload of cheese on top
Yes,
of it,
yes,
cheddar cheese
yeah.
for no apparent reason, just to kind of clog your arteries even more, then you would understand the beauty of Skyline chili. And as you mentioned, it's
They
great.
gave it to me when I got my medical marijuana card. Actually. I had a coupon. I have.
It may work
I wear
then.
these shades
It
because
may
I'm
work
going
then.
for my glaucoma, and they said, "Here you are, sir. Here's your medical marijuana card, and here's a free pass to Skyline Chili."
There you go.
Lifetime supply. That's
so
all you
funny.
need.
No, I do it. It's kind of a drunk food or a hangover food. It works either way, whether you're kind of recovering or
Hey, listen, that
imbibing.
falls right there with White Castle hamburgers
Yep.
and all, Royal Castle, all the
Yep,
sliders.
yep.
Come on, we all enjoy that stuff. It's a guilty pleasure. I'll be candid with you. We do a chart. We spend a lot of time with ingredients and things, but when it really gets down to things that taste good, salt and butter, garlic, anything, carbs, bread, all that stuff is good.
It
So
sops
good.
up the alcohol.
Yes,
You know what
it
else
does.
is great hangover food, and it's great when you're not even imbibing.
Mm.
And I had one in the last week. Here is the the grilled now I'm blanking out on my words. I'm having a senior moment.
Sometimers.
The burger, the patty melt
I love
on the rye bread.
Oh, I love the patty
I
melt.
have to try that here.
No, that's the all-time #1 hangover remedy right there. You can't even beat that. Nothing comes close to that.
And I got to give you guys credit in the kitchen here. I mean, now that you've streamlined the operations, I mean, everything has always been top notch, but we'd
like to say consolidate.
Consolidate.
I don't think when you get divorced, you say you streamlined your money. When you get thrown out, I'd like to think, put a positive spin on being thrown out of my establishment, but I can't really. Ketchup, please.
Oh, we got a French dip that's coming in, and this is going to be a first-time occurrence here at the streamlined. Consolidated. What are we going?
Consolidated.
Consolidated.
All right.
Streamlined.
I like streamlined. But,
yes. Anybody who's been divorced,
when
their
I say
wallet has been streamlined.
It makes me feel skinnier when I say streamlined. So we've got on today's daily special board a French dip, and you know me, you give me some hot beef on a roll with some melted cheese, something to dunk it in. I'm very happy. We've got the chili, we've got the fish tacos, which is one of the specialties, and one of the things they have here, besides a full smoker, a smokehouse with the barbecue on that side, they have the Baker's Pride pizza ovens.
Old school, 50 years old.
So we're getting a pizza here today, Defoe.
Oh, yeah, nice.
We're getting one of the South Florida touches, the shrimp scampi pizza.
Oh,
pizza.
okay.
Here comes the lovely Shannon. And now we've got a veritable lunchbox feast. I am ready to go.
That's a shrimp scampi pizza in front of us here?
Yes.
That looks great. Wow.
Scampi pizza. It's kind of a white cheese. Do you put any of the red sauce on that? No, it's just kind of a. There you go. You see it on the camera.
Looks
there.
beautiful. Wow.
Look at that. Look at that one-handed strength.
Can you save me a slice? Lubie might be able to drop it off if he doesn't get stuck by the train on the way
Don't
home.
count on Lubie to get you anything. You'd be better off with a courier pigeon.
That happened to me once. I was having a Super Bowl party of all things, and I had a guy that was going to pick up some catering for me, and we had a tray of chicken marsala was supposed to be one of the orders, and he ate it on the way to the house. The guy ate the entire tray of chicken marsala on the way to my place, and then just said that they, blamed the person with the takeout counter, saying, "Oh, they forgot to put it in there." And then we found remnants of the tray in his car.
This is very tricky. Well, it's as you can see, Defoe, we're trying to make you a little
really
bit jealous.
I always love Shenanigans, though, and I go all the way back, as I've told you many times, to the original opening of the location that now has been consolidated. And I used to love going in there because there was something for everybody, whether you were a young kid like my son or me,
You're gonna have to try this one.
This man is.
These guys haven't
veteran.
started on the antique thing. I'm waiting for the antiques to come up, and then we can. Here you are, gentlemen.
Yep, Hyde is. Oh, and I didn't know if I mentioned this that today we're gonna have a special guest calling in. I invited him also to come up, but he didn't want to. I guess he's a busy man. He's got a lot of things to do, and he couldn't make the trek up from Coconut Grove. But on the line,
I'm a huge fan of Dave Hyde.
Old-time friends, former colleague from the Sun Sentinel, the sports columnist extraordinaire, and also author of several books, including one out now with Jimmy Johnson called Swagger, and also one about the 1972 Dolphins, who are having a moment because it's the 50th anniversary. And I know that you talked to Jeremy Schaap this morning.
Schaap was great. I mean, he was fantastic. He really was.
Sorry,
a really good guy.
That. It was one of these mornings where I got so much. You can put the drink down here. We're just overflowing with food and good cheer. And do we have Hyde on the line or 1 minute? Okay. And so I'm just going to take a bite of my scampi pizza, which is something that was one of my favorites for a long time, and I haven't had it in a while. Got those little
It's conceptually the same thing as the New Haven clam pizza.
Right.
We just
a little
use
bit of
shrimp.
garlic and white.
We now have Hyde,
exactly.
by the way, just to let you know.
All right, we welcome to the
Hyde.
show now, and I'll stop stuffing my face at some point. Friend of the show, friend of mine, longtime sports scribe in South Florida. Not going to call him the dean because that belongs to Greg Cody. So thankfully, Dave Hyde knows he's not the oldest guy in the room. Dave Hyde, how are you today?
I'm just wondering, how do you do a radio show, a talk show while you're eating? It's just an amazing
impressive.
thing,
Multitasking.
Men are notoriously bad at multitasking, except for me when it comes to eating and doing a show at the same time.
He's a modern-day Hank Goldberg. He really is. I mean, the only thing missing is the mustard stain on his shirt.
I don't
Wait.
know. No, that was
There
he
you
got
go.
you
No,
right there.
I know,
there.
but to
He
complete-
got you right there.
To complete the
Let
Hank trifecta, I'm going to go on to my betting app right now and lay down a bet
Oh,
on the
go
early
ahead.
double at
Go ahead.
Aqueduct or something
Go
like
ahead,
that.
hit
And
it.
that will be the true Hank Goldberg trifecta
Yeah.
of doing a show while eating and gambling at the same time. And this is why we love the Lunchbox. All right, Dave, sorry. What's going on in your world? What do you think of the upcoming big game?
The big game.
That's the
Wow,
way we
that seems
talk
so
about it.
far in the distance right now. With I'm sitting here. Are the Dolphins going to get a defensive coordinator?
Oh, that too.
Yeah,
Tom
that's a great
Brady
story.
retires. The big game. Well, I mean, the two best teams are there, right?
Yeah.
Any of those last four teams that made it would have been fine up until the time San Francisco lost about 82 quarterbacks in a row. But those last four teams were the best four teams of the season. And whoever.
I agree.
So now you got one team that built through a quarterback and smartly taking him, and another team that built with the full roster. So it's kind of interesting architecture here.
Do you have? All right, before we talk about those other stories that are more pressing and more current, I do want to just get a quick take on the game from you. Like, Philadelphia obviously looks like the best in class in the NFC, and they've just run roughshod over their playoff opponents. But this is like the old horse racing handicapping angle. Do you prefer a horse that's maybe run against grade 3 competition and beaten up on them, or against a grade 1 winner that has, run in nothing but grade 1s? I think the AFC is superior. Kansas City has won a couple of those grade 1s and Super Bowl and lost one of them. But, is the class of Kansas City going to prevail over what looks like the dominance over lesser foes of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Oh, that
Yeah,
nice.
how
Well
healthy
said.
is Patrick Mahomes going to be?
Yep.
His ankle obviously was bothering him, and yet it was the cliche refusing to lose, literally the way he played. So my first question is Mahomes, because he's going to have to be Philadelphia's lines. They were down here in August against the Dolphins, and Dolphins players say those are the two best lines they'll probably play all year, and it played out. They probably have combination wise the best lines in football, and so. What do you like? Do you like the great quarterback, or do you like the good quarterback with a great organization around him? But what's going to happen is if Philadelphia wins, everybody will say, "Well, you don't need a great quarterback. Spend the money on get a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract and build out the roster." But they're forgetting Kansas City, because of Mahomes, is now in its third Super Bowl in 5 years, and it went to two other AFC championship games. I mean, it's sustained excellence.
Yep.
Whereas Philadelphia, they built it all up from when they won the Super Bowl in 2017. So, two great architecture jobs, but just different.
In different
No,
ways.
it looks like, look, Mahomes has already proven himself to be a great quarterback, and that performance last week goes down as, one of the all-time guttiest performances. He's also missing, a lot of his pieces.
How about Tyreek Hill? How about Hill?
Hill is gone.
This
and
is
then a bunch
when
of
you're going to
injuries.
really feel that, I think.
Yeah. But no, I mean, the thing is, people are saying, oh, how's his ankle going to be? Well, his ankle, even though he was severely compromised in the last game, that was just fresh off the injury, and he still was able to gut it out. Now he's got 2 weeks in between for treatments, and it's further from the point of the original injury. So I don't think it's even going to be a factor. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, I guess his mobility will be, compromised. But what do you think, Pat Arter? Do you have a play yet on the game?
This is almost like legendary that the AFC is representative of the type of ball they play, and the NFC is exactly what you see. Smash mouth. Big fan of Sue that we had here. He's still a beast, wrecking machine. They're going to have to really man up on Kansas City. I believe, following sports, that speed kills. I really think speed kills, and I have to give that this Mahomes. To me, I mean, no offense to anybody else, the greatest of all time. This guy adds a complexity to the game that I've never even seen before. His athleticism, the way his presence, the way he can dump off a ball, not taking anything away from Hurt or any of the Philadelphia players. If Kansas City, and I saw Kansas City in a different light on defense in this past game,
they play better.
if they can stay with them, I think that he's the difference. I think Mahomes is the difference. I have to give the edge to Kansas
There's a
City.
lean towards Kansas City. Dave, have you
Personally.
formulated a
I'm an
pick yet?
AFC fan now.
Yeah, deep one. I said the same
I just
thing.
think the NFC has kind of sucked this year.
It's-
I mean, if you
yeah.
look at teams making the playoffs with sub 500 records,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. Dave, do you have an early prediction?
Lean.
My early prediction would be Kansas City like 27-24. But
Okay, score the whole thing.
I'm gonna reserve. I'm gonna hope that nobody remembers this in about a week, in case I change my mind.
A few people watching, but we will have tape.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go to some of the more current stories and the
How about
zaniest?
Sean Payton getting?
Sean Payton is going to Denver. Is this true?
I just love that hire. I mean, I think he's one of the best, if not. No, he's really up there with Andy Reid and some. This guy is a special coach. I love the fact that he, that organization keeps firing. Getting those same guys, the quality coaches in there.
You have any thoughts on the Sean Payton hiring or the latest involving the Dolphins?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask him about.
Well, I think Sean Payton was going to go to a couple things. One is a good organization, obviously felt comfortable with, but the other thing was someone who met his financial demands, which are around $20 million a year, or up to that, which is what he was asking of the Dolphins last year. Remember, a year ago, Peyton and Brady were here. They were delivered here like Vic Fangio. Not quite as down the line as Vic Fangio, but I got calls afterwards from a couple assistant coaches who I know who were looking to move here. They were asking people about, where should they live and all that. So, Sean Payton was pretty much here. Then he became a coach in waiting for a year, and but yeah, he's the big head coaching name out there this offseason, and then Denver spent some big money to get him.
Oh yeah.
So now, what happened with the Dolphins?
What's going on with Fangio?
So yeah, I spend so little time watching sports or caring about sports, except for big games, which I do watch. But who is this Fangio? What is going on? I keep hearing this name, and I thought they're talking about FanDuel and about betting. But what is happening?
What is this?
Hey, Mike,
what is this FanDuel?
And something happened that embarrassed the Dolphins, which okay, that's par for the course. So we've got the over under at 1.5 every year. So what happened exactly?
I would say don't pay any attention to it for about 4 more days, and it'll all be cleared up by then. And then you can say, oh yeah, right. Now what's happening? It's the Dolphins and Vic Fangio, who is, if not the top defensive mind in football, or in the top 3 conversation, or how many ever you want to. He was going to. He had agreed terms to come to the Dolphins. Okay, I was told that.
Oh, I thought it was done.
People were. NFL Network was told it at first, and the NFL, the NFL.com is the PR arm of the NFL. So teams go to them and say, "Here's what we're doing."
Right.
And
profit.
and it's just as everybody was told, okay, we're they're bringing in Vic Fangio, okay, and then somewhere between agreeing, we were told that Steve Ross had signed him to the largest contract for a coordinator in the NFL. So he opened the checkbook and this is the guy Mike McDaniel wanted a year ago as his defensive coordinator, and he didn't have the, when he got the job, he didn't have the name cachet to bring in his own people, and he had to inherit some people. But so they went back to Fangio, agreed to terms with him. And then somewhere between agreeing to terms and Fangio putting his name on the contract, San Francisco came in, and
What?
San Francisco lost its defensive coordinator, who became the head coach in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then,
So it's NFL
you know,
musical
we're-
chairs,
that's-
and nobody knows where the dust settles until a name is on a contract.
right,
okay.
right.
Uh,
Now, evidently, reportedly, Fangio has some. He's living in San Francisco. His significant other lives in San Francisco, and so and he obviously he used to work
Bosa.
for San Francisco, knows the organization. Am I gone? And
No, you're-
yeah.
okay, and so you know, who knows? There's no clarity on the situation.
All right, it's time for the cliche. Only time will tell. And, that's it.
No, we know. We already know.
We already know.
We already know.
He left his heart in San Francisco. He's going to stay in San Francisco.
He left.
He
He
left.
never was here.
He never was here. So, okay. So now the Dolphins are back to maybe square one
Oh,
on the
God.
defensive coordinator front. What else was the big? Oh, yeah, that guy,
Brady.
Tom Brady,
Yeah.
who I believe is 46 now, or no? Who knows?
I don't know if he's officially turned 46 yet.
But he's
No.
gone. He's gone. He finally retired, probably for a second time and 1 year too late. What are your thoughts on that?
My thought is he's 45 because his birthday, I believe, is in August. Because every time it would happen, I'd tweet something out like Dolphins are closer, getting closer. You know, because they wouldn't have to face Tom Brady again for 17 years. Look. If you look at the records he owns, he has to go down as the greatest quarterback in NFL history, which means he's the greatest player in NFL history.
And I'm one of those guys. I think.
Because-
I just think he gets to write his own exit. And if people are blasting him for staying a year too long or should have just stayed retired last year, you know what? He came in. He won some games by himself at the end. The Tampa. You know, he had no support on the line there. So, you know, okay, he didn't go out a champion like he wanted to, but it's not like he was a complete embarrassment. And that's it. So now he realizes it's time, and he goes to the booth.
Yeah, he led the league in attempts and completions this year. It's not like this was Willie Mays staggering in the outfield. You know, I mean, he didn't have a team around him, so he changed what people think of longevity in the NFL. That wow, you can play this long. Remember when he was 40 and he said he wants to play to 45, and people chuckled.
Yeah,
So a lot of people wanted to play till they're 45, and yet he did it. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
From start to finish, a remarkable career considering what was he, a 6th-round pick.
Yep.
And Bill Belichick saw enough of him to keep him as the 4th quarterback on the roster out of training camp, and from there it was a straight line up.
Well, I'm going to let Defo ask.
Unfortunately for the Dolphins.
Yep. I'm going to let Defo ask the next question while I fill my mouth with these delicious French dip sandwich. I know the food people on the group who don't want to hear all the sports talk, they definitely want to see me unhinge my jaw and put this delicious French dip sandwich down. Take it away, Defo.
Yeah, it's always great watching Mike eat. It's fascinating, and it's interesting from this perspective because most of the time we're there, and the stuff's squirting all over the place. Patrick Utter smart enough to issue bibs to Lubie and himself here, and I would suggest, guys, that you
Great
use them.
post.
Hey, we had some going on today, and this is interesting to me, Dave, and only your man Jim Sarney, I think, knows the actual format for the NHL All-Star Game, which is here in town, and there are many festivities associated with that. We were talking earlier this morning on our show in the morning with Jessica Blaylock, who's outstanding at what she does, and actually outdoes in terms of Anthony Bourdain baldness our own Mike Mayo, because she was eating like chocolate-covered caterpillars at a game in Seattle one day when she was kind of doing like a sampling of the different stadium food. But does anybody, Dave Hine, do you or does anybody else know what the format for the NHL All-Star Game is? I mean, how do they actually play
It'll
the
be
game?
here, by the way. Those of you that didn't realize that.
I mean, they don't line up anymore with like one conference versus the other. They don't play an actual game. I think it's 3-on-3. I don't know for what duration.
Touch too, also, right?
Does anybody know? I mean, because it was an annuity at one time. Eddie Kaplan turned me on to this, and I made money every year betting the over in the NHL All-Star Game. And it wouldn't matter. They could put like 27 goals up as the over-under, and they would get like 35. But does anybody know the format of this game? And further, I mean, in your columns, I mean, does it mean anything? Is it of any significance that it's here in this city?
I know they have media interviews with players tomorrow afternoon, Depot. That's the
That's it?
extent of my knowledge of. That's where I got to do that. That's how it affects my life, and I'll be out there.
Request Bobby Holland. You can take the day off. Yeah.
I have no idea what the format. I think it's flag football. Didn't it go to flag football this year?
I think touch football, yes.
With rotating 3-on-3 breakaway games
Yes,
with, I don't know, a sumo wrestler and the goalie pipes like Defoe always wants to see.
You've seen it where they don't play with a goalie. I know that, right?
No goalie.
The score's
Yeah. And they use a soccer net for the goal.
They make it a soccer.
Look, nobody understands the format. All I know is that Nicky Mohan and our friends at Visit Lauderdale are very happy to have a big national/international event because it's a lot of Canadians that will be both attending and playing in the game. So, so it's good for tourism, and it'll get people down here because anybody wants any excuse to come to South Florida in the middle of February.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the actual game, it's a snoozer, right? It's going to be tough. So Dave Hyde, I want to talk a little bit about 72 Dolphins because they're having a moment again, and this would be a great opportunity for people to maybe go onto their websites or browsers and find your book.
Yes.
Is that still available?
It is. In fact, I came out with a 50th anniversary edition.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
This year. So it's on Amazon. You can get it, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to update. A lot of fun. Why are they in the news again? Though what I missed.
No, just because ESPN is producing and about to, I guess,
They have a
unveil the
50-year
premiere
release.
their
Yeah.
50th anniversary thing. I guess they didn't
Before the
feature
Pro
or
Bowl.
contact you for any interviews with that, but
Even though you wrote the book about the team.
Yeah, what is going on?
but you are the authority on the 72 team. You've been, following and tracking these guys, even if you weren't here covering it that year, but you've basically been the closest to most of them. Do you know a quick
they're
tally
a
of
remarkable team.
Yeah. How
What's
many
that?
how many are still alive, or how many have passed? Do you have a breakdown of the roster?
There's, I think they've lost 17 players. Virtually the whole coaching staff has died now. But they had a celebration this season. It's a blast. To me, people get tired of the 72 team and all that, but every year that they make news when I remember listening to Chris Collinsworth, and he was saying about what was the last team whatever the last team was. He goes,
this year the Eagles.
The Eagles, right?
Patriots came close except for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Chris Collinsworth this year, when the Eagles were 6-0, or I believe he was saying, "Hey, it's not time to talk about the 72 Dolphins yet." And nationally, everybody knew what he meant. He meant, okay, they're not. What he's saying is they're not ready to be talking about as a perfect season yet. It's way too early. But to me, they're a remarkable team and remarkable lives. You go down the list of that roster of what they did with their lives just outside of football. It's just stunning. From Nick Monicani, CEO of 2 Fortune 500 companies. Then he started the project of his life, which was the Miami Project to cure paralysis.
Yeah, for his son. Yeah.
And Shula went on to the all-time winningest coach, and you had doctors, you had lawyers. Doug Swift, the outside linebacker, he went up to a Dolphin game in New England, and that Saturday before it took his Medcats. He passed him. He quit football. He became a doctor in Philadelphia. The stories of these guys, of their lives, is just remarkable. It's a different era in sports. Most of them either needed another job or thought of football as a part-time. They're going to be out of it in the next 10 years, and they better prepare for their lives. Yep. So I think it's an incredible story.
Yeah, and you can read all about it. Again, still per story of the 1972 Miami Dolphins is available on Amazon.com. We know because we just looked it up.
It's a
So
fantastic.
should buy it.
If I could add a little perspective on
and
it,
Pat Utter, you're
a
sitting here
fan
very
of that
silently.
team, man.
I'd like
You
to-
were there at some of those games, right? How
I want
many?
to not only do. I actually have Dave's book in a time capsule. I have it put away in my top closet. I think it's the most spot on, beautifully eloquent book I've ever written about the 72. Just to give a quick little thing. So I was a junior in high school right down the street at South Broward High School. And you can't really understand the full impact, like they said, until you were there. So this was a little sleepy bedroom community, beach community. South Broward, Hollywood Hills was the state champion the following year. That was huge. We had Tucker Frederickson. We had some things. But to actually see these guys, the Bonacani, talk about Manny Fernandez, all the Jim Langer living here in Hollywood. They even went as far when they honored him on ESPN with the Guy Roper, Robin Roper, and the Stratfords and the bobblehead dolls and all the. I volunteered. I went down there for no money and sold souvenirs at the ballpark as
This
a
was
junior.
in 72?
In 72,
Oh,
yeah, as
wow.
a junior. I drove
Oh,
down
just
there
to
with
be there.
just to be there, be a part of it. There wasn't a car on the street. Back
That's
then,
funny.
with mostly jalousie windows, with everybody just with fans, you could hear the screaming down the blocks when the game
Right around the Orange
Wow.
Bowl.
So it's something to marvel at still all these days later. To do anything perfectly is something doesn't come along very often.
And
I
again,
haven't
the
once.
team had characters.
Very
and
character, and
Wow.
just
Characters.
working class characters.
Yeah,
You see guys running around here locally. It was quite a time.
nice. Hey, Dave, how's the swagger doing? I guess hopefully we can go down to Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill and talk that up in a couple of weeks after this big game. Can't say Super Bowl in a commercial establishment. Otherwise, Roger Goodell comes and personally takes all the money and credit cards out of my pocket.
Big game. Big game.
Yeah, there's another one. I know Defoe's been down to the Big Chill and
Yes.
does the shows from there, but it's Jimmy. They're doing the game this year.
Yes.
So he'll be out. He's been
All right,
all
Fox
the
is so
playoffs.
he's going to be
He's
involved.
going to be
with the
working. That's
broadcast.
why we haven't been able to go.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He's Fox is doing the game, and so that means Jimmy's there. But it was big. Swagger was a big story when nationally or in Dallas when Dallas played San Francisco in the playoffs, and that was the first time they'd really, it brought back thoughts of when Jimmy's team played Dallas and called in on the phone and said, "We're gonna, we're gonna win this game," and led to him saying he had grass balls and everything like that. So it was, Jimmy makes things fun, and he did back then, and he still does now.
That was his Joe Willie guarantee moment there.
Yeah.
And it was not paper mache. They were brass. So that's it. Hey,
Yeah, in fact, in the Big Chill, there's a chest there, a small chest on display, and somebody sent in 2 big brass balls. They're in the chest, and it says here's something every championship coach needs.
that's nice. Hey, speaking of the big game, Pat Utter, real quick, what do you got going on here at Shenanigans? Is it any kind of specials?
It's the most exciting thing about this game for us, believe it or not. It spills over from outside Shenanigans. We always have $4 drafts on special. That's a pint in the best Guinness shortest straw in town, premium liquor and food specials. But I have to put on extra staff and really, really brace myself because of chicken wing, barbecue, and pizza sales for home parties. That's it. I'm going to have a streamlined menu, and I'll go through probably 100 cases of at 40 pounds a case. So that's quite a bit of chicken wings in that day.
Will you do any Philly-style cheesesteaks as a special?
We always,
that day?
that's funny that you mentioned that. We will have something, and we always come up, and I'm thinking that we're gonna put a little twist on it, and put a little broccoli rabe in there, or give it a little
Nice,
Italian
that's it.
flair
Get that
on a
roast pork
nice
sandwich.
we could do the roast pork.
Yeah,
Philly's an easy town to honor. Kansas City. My son played football out in Avila University, so I had the opportunity to eat some of their really good barbecue and stuff. Yeah, so I got it covered. I got St. Louis ribs. We got it. Yeah, we could be your Super Bowl stop. Convenient drive-through.
Roger
Big
Miguel. That was
game
Pat
party.
Utter.
Yep.
Your big game party.
They're going to sue me.
You just lost your liquor license, Pat.
Dave Hyde, what
Yeah.
about you? Are
Miguel's
you
got it.
going to the big game, or are you going to be just celebrating or watching at home?
I'll be watching at home. I don't have to. You know, one of the timely things for me in my career, I think I went to 25 Super Bowls in a row.
Jeez.
Wow. You and Ed Pope.
One of the great things one of the great things with newspapers not having as much travel money as I don't have to go to. It was fun to do, but I've done it, and
Yeah.
So when they said, "Do you really want to go?"
No, you don't miss it.
Good. I'll be watching from the couch.
And what is on the menu at Casa
Casa
de
Hyde.
Hyde? Are you do you make like Super Bowl food that is appropriate for the competing cities, or you just eat whatever the hell you feel like?
Does nachos, does that fit with either of these cities?
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
That's what I'll be
Guacamole.
having. Yeah, right.
Guacamole, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be rooting for the Mexican City expansion team.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Dave Hyde, we're going to let you go. I appreciate
Really nice
you
talking
stopping
with them,
by
yeah.
as usual. One of these
Awesome.
days, come up here. I promise you'll get well fed.
You're
'cause
taken care of.
Look at this. I
It would be an honor, Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Peace.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks, Mike, and I might be up there for the Super Bowl when I heard what you guys are doing. So
There you go.
Or the big game. I'm
Big
sorry
game,
about
big game.
that.
We're dead.
Big game, yeah.
The NFL now owns
All right.
Shenanigans and
All right, Hyde,
Mike
appreciate
Mayo's
it.
Lunchbox. So
Thanks, Hyde, man.
Take a number.
all hail and praise Goodell. So that's it. All right, we've got to take care of some business here on the Lunchbox. So we'll be back after these words. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent. You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox remote edition from Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, located conveniently between Sterling and Sheridan Streets, and easy to get to. Lots of parking. They have a drive-through window if you want to take out
That's cool. I
order,
didn't realize
which
that.
is very convenient. I've done that myself after some late-night heists or actually poker tournaments, and just roll up,
Shenanigans.
get myself a burger at midnight as part of the one of what makes Shenanigans so great, along with the barbecue and all those things. A couple of notes, Defo, before I'll throw it back to you. We'll have some discussion about who knows what, some food stuff. But the pizza spot, I was in there yesterday. I saw Wade and Reese, and they are now. He's so obsessed with his pizza dough that he's going to be taking a daily break between 2:30 and 3:30 just to attend to his dough. So if you're going to the pizza spot, and remember, they're closed on Mondays. So if you go to the pizza spot Tuesday through Sunday, don't go between 2:30 and 3:30 because he's not going to answer the window. He's going to be like, you know how like Kate Radar is the horse whisperer? He's the dough whisperer.
Just sits there and talks to the dough?
He loves, he says his dough needs to prove 2 to 3 days.
You should be counting the dough that he's making there. It's unbelievable at that place.
And he's also hoping to get his pizza truck down so he could start doing catering and going out to different neighborhoods and office parties. But that's the pizza spot, and he'll be taking a break later in the month. But don't go there 2:30 to 3:30, otherwise you're going to have to wait a while.
Did you see your man Portnoy was all over the place lately at local pizza places?
Lately, I haven't
given
seen
reviews. He did about 3 or 4 of them very recently.
He did Frank Pepe's and
John the Baker. He did one at John the Baker.
Really?
And a couple of other places all the way up to Jupiter. And had a generally high opinion. I mean, they were all like above 7.5.
He's getting soft in his old age, probably because he has an
nicer.
app that basically makes money when they sell more pizzas. So, not to be cynic, but how many 4s and 5s are going to be given out if he wants to have every place that's loaded onto his app and sell it? Hey, speaking of apps, Best of Delray Beach and my man Dickstein, tonight we're having a big party up at the OG Lounge in Delray Beach. Has become the new
Beautiful
hotspot.
place. Yeah, that's
they were renovated.
Spot.
I don't know if you know Brian Rosen. He's the owner.
I don't know him personally, but I'm a big fan of the place.
Yeah, OG. They redid it, so they have this whole outdoor patio area, and they've partnered up with this taco place, Tequiza, which started in Miami Beach. Tequiza now has an outpost at the OG, so it's like good cocktails, drinks, along with these tacos. And you talk about Jessica, what's her name?
Jessica Blaylock.
Blaylock. How she eats all the bugs and the crazy stuff. One of the tacos they have on the menu there at the Tequiza OG is grasshoppers. They have like a fried grasshopper taco. So I'll be diving into that tonight.
You're going to try that? Get out of here.
Yeah,
Someone can take a video of you eating that and send that to me, please.
Well,
You have a shrimp scampi pizza in front of you for Shenanigans, and you're going to eat grasshopper later on tonight? My God.
So that event is open. Well, you got to get onto Eventbrite to RSVP. I think we're going to have close to 300 people there at the OG, and that's the Best of Delray Beach app that you can download on the App Store and Google Play. Just search for Best of Delray or Best of Local. And that party tonight is going to be running from 5 till 7-ish. And that's going to be fun. Oh, and some bad news out of Delray for us. I talked to the Secretary of State, Evan Darnell of Red Meat Lovers Club. There will not be a meatballs tennis ball.
That's a shame.
I don't know what exactly happened. I know it was big on our social calendar last year, but hopefully it'll come back next year for the leap year. And but this year, no meatballs tennis ball, but there still will be the Delray Tennis Open, which is always a fun time for people that want to check that out. What's coming up? Well, Defo, what's on your mind and your agenda in terms of eating lately?
Oh, food wise, I'm hoping my wife goes to the grocery store.
Give Runway a big plug.
Yeah.
My wife goes to the grocery store.
One of these days, she'll pick up some stuff there because
My wife goes to the grocery
I'm
store.
manufacturing things out of stuff that has an expiration date. That it doesn't even have an expiration date. It has the end of the statute of limitations. On some of the boxes that are in our
Antique
pantry there.
selectors always do that. That's what they bring to the food. They bring to the food table.
I wish I was there so I could bring some leftovers. Yeah, I know Lubie's happy that I'm not around because he's going to take a giant box.
I always mess around with expiration dates and should I throw it out? Should I not? Today I had an old, like a half bagel that I picked up from Grandpa's last week. It had a little bit of the spotting on the exterior, and I was like, at first I was
like a dermatologist. You just cut it out and had it examined by the biopsy people.
Then I was like, well, should I really be toasting? Like, can you get harmed by eating mold, or was it like penicillin? It'll just make
so
you
disgusting.
I guess I should just toss it.
It's like being around him and like using improper grammar or writing him a letter at all small.
This guy goes in any restaurant, Pat, eats for free. Yeah. And he's cutting mold out of a bagel at home. Unbelievable.
I can't understand why he's not involved in the food critics anymore.
He thinks he's Louis Pasteur, this guy. It's unreal.
I do think
I throw it against the wall, and if it doesn't. Yeah.
I almost threw it in the toaster, and then I took a little bite.
I'm not bringing this back.
And I was like, you know what?
Bringing that back.
It just feels like I'm tasting.
But you know they are asking about you at runways for you. You got to get them. You know, Mark
I'm going to get in there.
Pat Marzano.
Have you
Anthony
been in
Bruno.
yet?
I have.
Yeah,
and I have to comment. World class. I mean, if you are a fan of a throwback supper club, the appointments, the decoration, the layout, the vibe, the food, just completely world class. I tip my hat again to that. That's I mean, it's Anthony Bruno.
Yeah, we talked to him last
week. Anthony was on the show last week. We talked a bit.
Well, Anthony doesn't even do justice to. I heard your show, and he's modest. I think it's probably transcends anything I've seen in Broward County.
It's got a vibe and
I'm
a
going to give it to everything. Well, for me,
I haven't been in yet. Okay. But the thing is, usually I wait a full month for when
your name
a restaurant is.
Mark brought your name up.
Okay.
He lets him work out the Mayo's very.
They keep saying just text anytime, we'll get you in.
I think after that bagel story, you might.
Well, plus he stiffed a maitre d' there.
Next time.
Yeah.
You might want to call me first.
I might be banned in all the respect.
You just bring up a story like that.
No, guy got him a table for 6 on a Saturday night when he had no reservation. He walked in at 8:30, sat him right down, and the guy stiffed him, claimed that he had lost all his money at the track, which you can relate to like I can. We have no capital on you.
End of service, and Vincenzo
never took care of it.
I saw your picture there, and it had like a red slash.
Vincenzo, I owe him a little bit of gratitude. I know. I'm going to find
Mayo stiffed him.
It's
a disgrace.
It was a little cash poor. It wasn't a table of 6.
No, you're going through the
table of 2, and I'm making
You're going through the owners now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
forget the
He
manager.
did go. Anthony set him up.
You're not cutting through the kitchen.
Look, I'm really looking forward to it. And usually I like to wait 4 weeks, but these guys, because it's their whole old veteran crew, they've got it cranking, all cylinders firing from
they're doing a lot of cool stuff now.
Yeah, and that new steak program looks really.
It
looks great.
I'm
it
not
looks
a big
expensive. I gotta hit a trifecta probably before I go and try the new steaks. But
wet age too.
Like
the way I grew up.
Really?
The way I grew up. I didn't grow up with dry age.
No, dry age.
I started with
a funk.
Yes.
Talk about mold. Talk about eating the moldy bread.
Possibly one of the most flavorful steaks I've had in recent times.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they outsource it like they're up there with Peter Luger's. I mean, the taste was
He
phenomenal.
says they're using the same butcher fabricator out of Chicago that Peter Luger's
that's
uses.
funny.
So that's why it reminded you of that.
Yes.
And of course they got all the old classics. I can't wait to, I always loved his
Be
the
prepared.
pasta,
It's beyond beautiful.
the pasta with the cauliflower and the with the broccoli rabe. He had the ziti with the broccoli rabe, the meatballs, all that stuff. It's great.
But I don't think you're going to be getting in after I heard that story. I don't know.
I will come with offerings and atonement.
exactly.
I know how to get on,
You're
back
better.
on the good side of people that I've alienated.
We need to keep Anthony Bruno happy.
Including
Devo's
mother of
been
my
in
child.
a really good mood tonight. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
'cause he's
scattered the infield with stories about you. I like that.
He loves taking it. No,
It's
it's all
our
true.
favorite.
No, that's a true story. I mean, how do you go back when
It
you
wasn't
turn your back on the maitre
true,
d'?
but the rest of the story was basically true. So that's it. A little embellishment, and embellishment not required for that story. So
That's why you're my buddy over here. That's it.
oh man, I guess we should take our final
Our
break
last
of the
break.
day. And before we do that, I have to sing the praises. I saw Neki Mohan last night at
How's she doing?
it's a grand opening of a new seafood restaurant in that Cordova shops there, called Willie T's Seafood, and it's owned and operated by Thompson Hospitality. I don't know if you know Warren Thompson. He's come to town. He's been a big successful restaurateur, businessman up in the D.C. area.
I read about him.
And he has a couple of chain concepts, including Matchbox, which is out at the Sawgrass Mills. He has Big Buns, a burger company that opened up downtown Fort Lauderdale. But now Willie T's is a new seafood concept that they debuted here in the Cordova shops last night. Neki Mohan was there. There was a ribbon cutting, a lot of local politicos. And Warren Thompson's a remarkable story because his great-great-grandfather was a slave. And then when he was freed, he went to the hills of Virginia and became a businessman. And then that Warren's grandfather, Willie, was the Willie and Willie T's, was a janitor and avid. He loved to go fishing. And he went with Warren as a young child fishing just in ponds and lakes. So this is his tribute to his grandfather.
Oh, that's cool.
Warren Thompson now owns and operates his restaurant group, 70 restaurants around the country.
Wow.
He's partnered up with Mike Linder, who owns the Yacht and Jet Runway Cafe, and they bought Canyon as partners, and they're getting ready to open.
I was there
some new
week before, yeah.
And they're getting ready to open up a new restaurant up in Pompano near you there, Defo.
Oh yeah,
like Atlantic and Dixie. And I don't know what the restaurant is exactly, but they're opening it in the next, I think, month. But anyway, Warren Thompson, we're going to hopefully have him on with Neki Mohan on one of our Visit Lauderdale segments in honor of Black History Month in February later in the month, because his is a remarkable American success story.
You're not kidding.
And it's the whole kind of thing that what makes the greater Fort Lauderdale area special.
Yep.
And that's the whole diversity, and we welcome everyone under the sun.
Yeah, we talked with Timon yesterday.
We just, people should know that, whether you're a foodie, the food connoisseurs, cocktail aficionados, the craft beer lovers, you can get craft beer here at Shenanigans or go to all these breweries and microbreweries around town on the Visit Lauderdale Ale Trail. Visit Lauderdale wants everybody to come and enjoy themselves. There's more than 4,000 area restaurants in Greater Fort Lauderdale.
Wow.
NHL All-Star Game this weekend. All those people will be able to find some great things, whether it's the great waterfront dining on the Intracoastal or the beach, like S3, our friends at S3 that we visited last month, or along Las Olas Boulevard, all the great cafes like Barry's Grill with Argentinian food. Yeah. And then, of course, the top name chefs like Tim and Baloo, who we had on the show yesterday, and celebrating him and his great accomplishment in being named a James Beard semifinalist for Best Chef in the South. He's at the Catherine Restaurant downtown.
I saw
Fort
that.
Lauderdale.
That's just amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's
really
amazing.
cool.
For him and us. So again, Visit Lauderdale. We are catering to everyone under the sun with every dish under the sun. And for more on the latest offerings, promotions, and deals, go to visitlauderdale.com.
Wow. Well said. Well said.
All right. We'll be back to wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox after these words.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Oh, we're having a little off-air
Pow wow.
chatter about Runway 84. I'm really looking forward to getting there. And Anthony Bruno is a very smart businessman because he knows one of the key things is under promise, over deliver.
Over-deliver,
And
yep.
like when he was on the show last
He
week,
was
because
very mild-mannered about
very
the whole
mild
thing.
mannered, low key. Yeah, we got this, we got that. We've made some improvements.
I think that's his
This
persona
guy
all
over
the
here,
time.
Pat is a very discerning. I mean, he is a guy that likes to go to high-end restaurants, and we compare notes a lot. Although he probably won't anymore after moldy bread and tomato sauce from the jar.
Watching you eat is enough, to discourage him from ever consulting with you again about anything. Yeah.
Let's just categorize because there's one thing to be a singular operator, double operator, or whatever. Anthony Bruno is in a league of his own. Okay, he took a formula here, and I think that my hat off to him. He's in another league,
and everything he does is
Everything
perfect. I mean,
hits.
Andy's Live
Everything
Fire
hits.
is a really nice neighborhood bistro that has excellent quality fish and seafood. Like
everything.
the things that you go in there. So again, he has.
If anybody
the
can do it, he can do it.
And I'm happy
I'm stoked.
to see the retro vibe coming back.
It'll
but
be
with
another
a totally
50 years. The thing's
renovated,
gorgeous.
building. And I always get amused. I mean, that Let's Eat South Florida group, God bless them. Hello, everybody, if you're watching us today, approaching 100,000. But some of the nitpicking when they said, Runway is reopening, and I posted a nice preview piece that was written up in the Miami New Times, and people are saying, how can they charge that much? There's not even a waterfront view. Who wants to go there on State Road 84?
You do realize
I'm like thinking to myself,
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, because what Paul Castronova just had a show worried about New Times, a girl that was a bartender and a wait staff person that now has a journalist degree. So
Laney Doss.
Yeah. A lovely person, nice well-spoken person. And then you have your you have your people that are Yelpers, right? Who know nothing. So I'm going to let a little secret into everybody, right?
Yeah.
First, we look at the purse. Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the very
Don't worry
first.
about the reviews. Worry about the
Yes,
register.
yeah,
I've heard
there
that.
was this is the way it goes. I had a phenomenal chef. I got the best reviews. I had the greatest location in the world, and I went out of business. What happened? Word of mouth.
Yeah.
So Runway 84 will do phenomenally well because of leadership inequality. That's coming from a guy that holds them in high esteem.
Yep.
So irregardless
People who
of
know
anything,
food and
Well,
who know
listen,
a good
if you-
time, they want.
I don't
to
even
go
look not like I'm a big shop, but I my vision's so bad I don't even know what the prices are because they just bring the check and I pay it. That's it. So if I'm going
Put it
there
on the
saying,
plastic. If it goes
how do
through,
you get
then
that? I can get a
hopefully you'll-
chicken parm down there at Napoli's or some place
Right.
like that. No, you're not taking.
You're
in the
going
whole
there
form.
for the steak
Yeah,
or the
I'm going
chicken
there.
scarpiello, which I love. That's a dish.
I want to
that-
be a pseudo gangster of some sort and go back and kind of feel I'm cool, the vibe,
Yeah. It's a
hear
place
the
you could
summer winds.
Put on your wingtip
Yeah, I
shoes
wanna
and
hear-
put on a
I want to
nice
hear Frank.
John
I want
Travolta,
to see a
Saturday Night
beautiful
Fever,
three-piece
a
band.
vest, a three-piece suit with a vest.
I don't really want to look at the Intercoastal at night because I'll let you in on a little
You
secret.
see it?
Can't see it.
You can't see it because
Yeah.
I was there. So your nighttime water view.
I don't get
Go
that.
there,
Yeah,
go
no,
down
I
to
get
beach
that.
Guy, he's
Go
sharp.
watch the
He
submarine.
knows.
Go watch.
I
Well,
mean,
I worked at Martha's and we used to.
Yeah.
Our light bill was ridiculous, and all you would
Because
see
you had
was
floodlights over the.
you'd see some tarpon rolling and
Right.
stuff.
You see some
And now with the
bubbles.
turtles, you can't light it up. So to the ocean view.
Although the places during the daytime, like Billy's Stone Crab,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine to
during
be on the water.
That,
but-
that dining room overlooking the Intracoastal daytime is beautiful. But like you said, at night, it's like shut off the lights and
Who cares?
that's it.
Never the food in the ambience.
I think we're done for today,
We
Defo.
are.
How did we do?
Well, I mean, not as well as I thought, because I thought you would be eating the entire time, but you were doing a lot of,
I thought you would be proud
Analysis.
of me because I
He
did,
restrained
nibble
himself.
on
He
the
restrained
the
chili.
whole show is based
he's
on you
not a
stuffing your
diet.
face.
Look at him. He's slimmed down a
Oh,
little
he's
bit.
very slim.
Look, you're slimmed down.
Lost a ton of weight.
Look,
He's back
he's
to
slim.
walking. His toe is healed
Yeah.
up.
I've had a rough couple of months. I mean,
I
between the
sense a
broken
lot of
toe and COVID.
animosity.
Yeah, he sees me.
Ever since the antique sales went bad.
Yeah.
Look, I ate the shrimp pizza. I had a bite of the French dip. I had some
Okay.
of the chili and the chip.
I can't believe there's chili left
in
on the
honor of
table.
you, because this would have been a complete mess. If we cut up some of these fish tacos, it would have been just spillage. It would have been like a super
had a
fun
little
site.
fishy
We would
odor.
need to just bring in some people to clean it. It would have been just spilling everywhere. So out of deference to you and the audience, we did not cut up the fish tacos. But I assure you, as soon as the show ends, I will be diving into that platter. And I might even pick up a hand of this rice. The rice with my hand, a handful of rice.
Don't do
You know what you
With the
do
hand
is you
stuff.
take this and you make an omelet with it in
That's
the morning. You throw all that stuff in there, not the fish, of course, and you just put this beans, the rice,
Nice.
your salsa.
In Yiddish, we call that a kakapitsi.
There you go.
You get a
There
little
you
bit of
go.
everything, and you
Yep.
just throw it in a pan with
Throw it.
some eggs, and it's
That's
all good.
all. That's it.
All right.
Three words, though, that always come to mind whenever I think of Shenanigans. Grilled mahi sandwich, man.
Oh.
As good as anything. I mean, and Patrick used to be on a friend of ours, Eric Brandon's Fishing Show. As a sponsor, he'd have a recipe all the time. But as soon as he started talking about the grilled mahi sandwich there, it was like I had to have one. And, a lot of people are big fans. Great variety. The chicken wings and the ribs and everything are fantastic. But, wow,
When he
seafood's
gets
great.
the
I got a
yellowtail
yellowtail
in,
yesterday. I got it yesterday.
he really
That
makes
was
it
great.
classy.
Local.
He puts that arugula on it, the fancy lettuce, the fancy.
It does a great job, man. It was always a favorite place.
Garlic aioli. For it's not just a sports bar. This is a full-scale, full-service
great
restaurant that has an encyclopedic menu and has really good.
You know why I
barbecue,
do that?
Really
You
good.
know why I do it?
Huh? Why?
Because I can.
Because you can.
That's it. I look at other menus and I'm like, it's excellent. Yeah.
That's it.
You're staying home to watch the dough rise for an hour. I got it. I see it. Yeah, I know. I'm
gets
wondering
it.
why, but that's good. We're
He's-
going to sell some food
He's
here.
like
I
us.
think 2:30 is post time for the fairgrounds. That's why.
Yeah, I think that might be it. I think that might be it.
That's why they're closing down a pizza spot for an hour.
I take my
Yeah.
nap then.
All good. All right, Pat, thanks again, as usual, for all the hospitality, great food.
Yep.
Remember, a big game coming up on February 12th,
Yes.
and this is the place you want
Good
to come,
spot.
or if you want to order a whole bunch of wings
Yeah,
and
catering.
other stuff.
Take
to
a
bring home.
tailgate home. Go
For your-
home and eat it.
Go home and eat it. Give the staff a little breathing room here, although
Stare at
Hey, who wants
Stare
our-
at the ocean.
Come on out. The bar is friendly. That's going to do it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be at Wicked Cheesesteaks.
Yes,
our
sir.
friend Brian.
Nice. I love
He-
that place.
That
He
place is
might
great.
be debuting.
Shyamalan
He's calling it
kicked
the
the heck
out of
Mayo.
Carl
I
Gibbons,
think
though.
he's going to break out for the big game. A new roast pork and broccoli rabe
Oh,
sandwich.
call it the
and he
Mayo.
might name it in my honor if I give it the seal
Oh.
of approval. So
I'll do.
I'm
Listen up. Should we compete?
yeah, we can have
We'll
a
throw it
competition.
down.
Fine. We'll have
I'll
mayo
proclaim
everywhere.
everybody the winner.
We'll have mayo
Gold
everywhere.
medalists.
I'm going to put
Because-
some smoke contact in mine.
All right.
I'm going to put some loin of pork in there.
That's
And I'm
all
going to
good.
put garlic.
So
I'm going to have a little
Default
smoke
always
on it.
appreciates a little smoke and sometimes the edibles too. So
Oh, edibles, straight away edibles, man.
Straight up.
The smoke is bad
All
for
right.
the lungs.
we've had
Yeah.
too much fun for
All
today.
right.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, and Lubie, let's see what horrors befall him later this week. He's already had a week, but hopefully
Man.
he'll make it to Wicked Cheesesteaks tomorrow,
God,
and we'll have
Good spot.
another
Good
beautiful
spot.
show. We'll see you then, and then of course don't forget Fridays at Gulfstream. They're going to be having a nice barbecue and
Pat, you're
bourbon.
going to join us out there.
Waiting
man.
for
You ought to
Pat
come
to
out.
join
I
us
would
in his
love
second
to.
home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
love
come
to.
Hello,
on out.
Brian
Friday.
came out. Where are you?
Oh, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah,
We're
that's
at
Every
12
Friday,
Street
we're
from
there.
12
Come
to
on.
1.
Come on.
And then this Saturday is the first of the big steaks for 3-year-olds. The Holy Bull Steaks is this Saturday, along with their bourbon and barbecue event up on the 3rd floor, the Flamingo Room, they call it nowadays. So that's, again, Friday, our show, Saturday, the big events. And that's it. The
We did
Lunchbox.
talk about moving the big race Pegasus also to
Pegasus?
Santa Anita too.
They're moving it next year. I
They're
didn't
going to
hear
split
that.
it up.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
Starbucks.
The
I saw-
Sonics want to kind of
Sonics,
go
yeah.
back and
Mhm.
forth. Interesting.
Yep, they
All
want
right.
to go back
Well,
and forth.
you know,
This is
there's
what it
still
is.
simulcast wagering, so it's no big loss.
That's like-
Oh, it's going to be two venues.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. We got to get out of here. Defo, thanks. Enjoy. the
Always a
rest of
pleasure.
the
Yeah, you
everybody.
guys have a good time there.
Enjoy
Very, very
every
envious.
pizza, taco, chili, and enjoy every sandwich.